Welcome to RPV City Talk. RPV City Talk is brought to you by the City of Rancho Palos Verdes to inform the community on recent city matters. RPV City Talk is a weekly show that features the RPV mayor, city council, or city employees.
Thanks so much for joining us. In recent weeks, a triple murder suspect was apprehended using a new license plate tracking system. Today, we're at the Lomita Sheriff's Department to catch up with Captain Anda and find out about how the system works. So, Captain, talk just a little bit about this system, how it helps to assist the officers in their job.
Oh, it helps assist in numerous ways. I think one of the biggest ways, though, is officer safety. Most of the time officers, they'll run a plate, sometimes it doesn't come back right away and that kind of thing, plus it takes time to actually enter it manually. So if it's automatically scanned, then it automatically pops up if there's something wrong with that car, the plate, if it has a warrant after it, it's a wanted felon or anything like that. So the officer already knows, oh, I need to be extra cautious with this car. So officer safety-wise, it is just absolutely phenomenal.
When you first heard about the system, was anybody leery about it, or was it going to work? Things like that.
That's good. I think the biggest leery part of it, use your own words there, is Big Brother.
Right.
But technology, the world the way it is, nobody has privacy anymore, I don't believe.
Right.
So for us, it is just a tremendous tool in order to put bad guys away. And we've also recovered a lot of stolen vehicles and numerous other things. So it's just really a tremendous tool.
I was going to ask you that. In the time that you've had it, how useful has it been?
Very, very useful. It's sometimes hard to quantify it because it actually is a great tool also for investigations. So say somebody gets burglarized or some kind of crime occurs, they get a partial plate or even just a description of the car. Right. We can actually put into the system the description of the car and then the radius of kind of how far out we want to search from where the person was a victim. Right. And it can go actually car by car by car of where it occurred. So it's a tremendous investigative tool.
Absolutely. Now, how many officers had to be trained on the car?
All of them,
okay.
Yes.
And what did the training entail?
The training pretty much entailed I have a deputy here that was trained in the program. He's kind of our ASAP expert, or ALPER is the actual system we have. We don't have the full program. Okay. And so he was trained in it, so he took every deputy out for a few shifts at a time to actually get them comfortable with using the technology. And it's not real difficult. A lot of it is automatic.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah.
It was very hard to learn or simple.
No, it's just getting used to one more thing in the car. I think we'll see here in a minute. There's a lot of stuff in the car, and so it is like, whoa, wait a minute, I got one more thing I got to deal with. But once they realize the advantages that the program gives us, then it wasn't a hard sell.
Yeah, especially with the cameras on the car, it looks a little different. So
it looks a little bit different. Yeah, I think we're starting to identify them a little bit, but it's an absolutely wonderful tool.
Up next, you'll meet Shawn, Cliver, the officer who apprehended the suspect, who will talk about how this new technology assisted him in doing his job. Shawn, first of all, can you take us through actually what happened when you apprehended the triple murder suspect?
I was doing routine patrol off Western Avenue in Rancho Palos Verdes, checking our local motels, restaurants, parking lots. Usually some of the criminal element will stage themselves in parking lots and whatnot, so a lot of us tend to go through those areas. Mm-hmm. While going through one of the local motels, there were a few vehicles in the parking lot. One of them stood out and immediately was picked up by the ASAP system, the camera. Having cameras on the front and back of the car immediately reads the license plate. And this system here notified me that there was a want or an interest in that vehicle. Okay. Didn't give me full details. Okay. The system here will read these cars coming in either direction, passing or coming towards us while we're driving or moving through a parking lot. It will display if there is a want on the vehicle, either a warrant, wanted subject, such as this case for murder. It will notify us that there's an interest in that car and will not display the register's owner's information immediately to us. We have to manually go through that and verify that through our mobile terminal.
Okay.
And then that's where we can find the rest of our information that we need through DMV, NCIC, Department of Justice, is all through here.
Wow.
So it's verified through us manually checking it.
Okay.
And once I did manually check it, I found out that this vehicle was wanted by our department for a homicide in West Hollywood.
So do you know from there, how do you figure out where the person is? You just have to kind of go door to door, or how does that work?
Well, what I did is once I immediately found out what had happened or what was going on with the vehicle, I removed my patrol vehicle from the area, not wanting to alert anyone that I was there, not knowing where the person was, because in these situations they're armed and dangerous.
Right, of course.
So I did not want to be sitting there
No.
having him find me first.
Right.
So I immediately removed myself, contacted our dispatch, and asked them to send one of our undercover units out there, which was out there within 10 minutes. And our surveillance team set themselves up in the parking lot with patrol units in the area. And I verified with the manager at the desk, checkout times, and if he knew who this person was. They weren't very clear who was actually in the room.
Right.
So we set up surveillance, and within a short time, the vehicle started moving, and we were notified by the undercover vehicle that the vehicle was leaving the motel.
Wow. So I guess it's kind of a cat and mouse game of just waiting and then letting them sort of come to you once you find them.
Yes, and that's what's great, about our station, our department, is we have so many resources.
Yeah.
Technology, information, deputies in the field. We have our marked vehicles, our vehicles with cameras, our regular patrol vehicles. We have undercover vehicles, our SAT team, which is an undercover surveillance team. So we have many resources that was immediately available to me, which all came into play in apprehending this individual.
So, okay, you have so much training, and then you put a system like this in. Is it a welcoming thing for you at first, or is it kind of a just another thing to learn?
Well, at first, we were used to this, good old box here that we manually type things in, which at times is very helpful, but, we don't want to take our eyes off the road too much.
Not, right.
And, spending a lot of time typing, we want to keep our eyes out there. So when it came out, a lot of us were a little hesitant as to, what is this going to do for us?
Right.
And I was with other people on that, I got to learn this. And,
Yeah.
and it was very simple once it was explained to me, how it operates, how to upload the system, how to download it each day, because the system downloads every day.
Okay.
And once we learned that and started putting it into use, and it started when I got out there in the field, and it started picking up these plates and alerting me to certain things, it became very interesting to me, because a lot of times these were things that were not attract my attention.
Right.
So it's been very helpful in those cases. And in the specific case of catching this particular individual, I think is a great asset to anything that can help law enforcement and peace officers do their job. I think is a great benefit.
So in this case, the technology actually is helping out instead of hindering in the car.
Yes,
For
yes,
sure.
it definitely is. I mean, these systems do take up a lot of room, and they're big at times. But technology, things do get smaller, and the systems now are greatly improved. This one here is a lot better than some of the other departments that I have. So, I mean, it's a great tool.
Would you eventually like to see them on all the cars?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Good. And next up, one of our own city council members who's been very supportive of getting this new technology into our community.